All right, so it is April 14th, 2020, and it is Tuesday. And I had a bunch of bad trades today. I had like three bad trades to start the day. Here's one of them, Bank of America. I saw this one coming back up through VWAP, and it failed and broke back down, and I got out. But I thought here, with the volume increasing here, that it was going to possibly move up to the high of the pre-market, and it did not. And this was in my pre-market scanner. It was a gapper. It was moving a little bit. You could see here on the daily chart here that it started the day gapping up because it closed here, and then it started the day at 24, around 24.45 or so, 24.50. So I was expecting a little. I was hoping for a little move up, especially when it broke VWAP. Didn't happen, and I got stepped out. So that was unfortunate. I did take another trade. I think that was not my first trade. I took work, and I actually got out of work early before it failed, and I'll show you. So work also gapped up. If you look here on the daily chart, it gapped up, and it was gapping up to this 200 moving average, this green line. It was an IPO not that long ago, so the 200 moving average has not yet formed much, just formed a few days ago, 5 or 6 days ago, but it was gapping up. So you can see the pattern here is not great. It's kind of moving all over the place over the last 6 months, so it's not a smooth mover. But I did like the fact that early in the morning it didn't have a lot of volume, but it started out with a big volume for the first 1 minute, came down, touched the 200 moving average, and then came back up. And I got in right here when I saw a little bit of volume increase at 26. What did I get at 26.09? Popped up, and then it moved all the way up to about 26. I want to say 26.30, but that did not hit my target. I think my target was like, I want to say it was 35 or something like that for my 2R. And then when I saw this coming back really quickly, I got out. I just got too nervous. It was the early day trade, so I just got out, which was good because you could see it broke VWAP and came all the way down back to the 200 moving average on this 1 minute chart. So I actually prevented a loss there by just getting out quick. I could have scalped it a little bit up here, but I was just not. It was just not a good trade to be in, and I got out when I saved myself a loss there, so that was good. But then let's see, what was the other trade I took? Oh yeah, I took PCG, which was a bad trade. This was stupid. So this one I got a couple levels on there, but this one I got in short because it had started out. See, it's right near the 200 moving average on this daily chart. If you look at the daily chart, it's moving up, gapped up a little bit. And I thought maybe it was going to bust through the 200 moving average, but it kind of hit its head on it. And when that happened, I saw broke VWAP, came back down, and on this pullback towards VWAP, I got in short because it had this topping tail here, this red topping tail, red candle at the top of this pullback, and I thought, oh, now it's going to start moving back down to the 200. Of course, it did not. It reversed and it went all the way back up. I mean, if I just got in long here, I would have had a little bit of a decent trade. And so that was unfortunate because I think later on it started. Yeah. So now, see this little channel here screwed me up, and then eventually it did move down close to my target, and I wasn't in it, obviously, so that hurt me. So finally I was looking for something, and I saw that the market was kind of taking a turn down. So I looked at AAL, which was also on my pre-market, and AAL ended up being a really good trade. So this made up for all my losses, my two losses, my flat trade. This brought me back to break even and more. So break even. It brought me back to being positive on the day. So AAL has been, all the airlines have been kind of hurting because of this COVID virus, the COVID pandemic. So when you look at the daily, you can see it's been down a lot, but it was gapping down a little bit. And it's so red here. I mean, with all the news, you had to be looking short. So I was looking for an opportunity when it went short. So at the day, it looked positive because it had a little bit of an indecision doji here on the 1 minute chart on the second candle of the day, and then it moved up really quick. So if you got in here at 12.17, you could have ridden it up to about 50 cents. But I was looking for it short later on once the market started turning, and you could see here it broke through VWAP, and I also had this 200 moving average. I love when this happens because this forms this little channel here, and if you can get a lot of good movements out of this, because if it breaks through both of them, you have a nice support line here. But look what happened. Broke down. It was riding the 200. I liked how it was forming this little area here where it was not busting up back up to VWAP. So I got in here at 1224 as my short, and I put my stop above VWAP at 1237. So what happened was it kind of continued sideways, and then it had this big topping tail here, which was a really nice sign for me because the next candle was red and it broke down through the 200 moving average on this 1 minute chart, and eventually it started moving down. So I took a partial here at 1204 for a 20-cent gain on like a third of my shares, and then started moving back up a little bit. I held on to my shares. I just moved, once I took a partial, I moved my stop to break even, so that no matter what, if it came back down, I was good. But then I had another nice big move down here, and it went all the way down to 11. Got all the way down to 1180 something, but I took some out at 1190, which was past my 2R. And then, unfortunately, well, we'll see what happens. But unfortunately, I was hoping for it to go down another leg here, but it came back. And once I got out some of my shares at 1190, I moved my stop to my 2R, which was 1198. I put it a little above that, 1197, just so that no matter what, I was guaranteed to get the rest of my shares out at my 1 to 2 risk return mark. And it did that. It came back up. 3 green bars stopped me out of the remaining shares, but then it came back down again. But you see, it's kind of just moving sideways. What I was looking at here was the 15-minute chart. It just looked so extended. If I actually look at the ADMA, it just looks so extended here. Look how far down it's moved, right, on this 5-minute chart. It's just from here. It started out here, where I got in at 1224. And dropped so much so quickly that I just expected it to possibly see. Now it's busting a little bit up here with the green candle. It can still continue down further. Obviously, there's nothing to say that it's gonna come back, but I didn't want to risk it, especially since now when I got out all my shares at my 2R, it guaranteed I was going to be positive on the day, with technically 3 losing trades, although one of them I got out early and it was flat. So that was my trade. AAL saved me on the day, and I was happy to at least stay positive and live to fight another day. That was my trade, and now I'm done for the day. Hopefully be back tomorrow with another video.